Well, friends, the time has come to say goodbye to 2023. 2024, here we go. So with every passing year, it does get sad because you're never going to get those times back. All the memories you made, though, will remain. And in today's video, we're going to go over some of my favorite moments from the year 2023. I'll share some of my personal things that happened that I'm really proud of. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you some of my plans going forward. So on a personal level, for me and the whole Build a Lot Acres family, 2023 was a real big year for a number of reasons. One of my children graduated high school and became an adult. One of my other children started high school and that whole journey. And then I had the addition of my new son, Bronson. So these are huge things, and honestly, I couldn't be happier and feeling more blessed with all these things happening. And I'm grateful to God for every day of my life and all these things that are happening. And for anyone that's, down in the dumps, you just think things aren't going your way, you always got to look at what you do have versus what you don't have. There's always going to be people with more, and there's always going to be people with less. So you need to be happy with where you are in life, and remember that there's always a plan for you going forward that you don't know about yet. So I think young Bronson's going to fit in just great. He's crazy, just like the rest of us, and he's showing a lot of promise despite only being 5 months old. I think he's going to be a future star in some of our videos. He seems to like to ham it up, especially when cameras are rolling and there's other people around, when he has an audience. Just like his mother, brother, and sister. Maybe his father, too. So another personal thing I'd like to mention, I'd like to say thank you to my good friend Andy for this coat. He's a dear friend of mine, and I've met him through my brother. They work together. I've done some work for Andy, and he's a great guy, great person, and I want to say thank you for giving me this coat. Hope you had a great Christmas, my friend, and hope you have a great new year. Moving on, let's talk about some of my favorite moments from 2023, some of the projects we did, and then, as promised, at the end of the video, I'm going to showcase some of the things I plan to do and change in 2024. So looking back, one of my first projects that I made in the year that I'm going to showcase today is the making of this purple mall. This video actually never made it to YouTube. I never ended up releasing it. I did release, however, a video of me showing the mall splitting firewood in a few different videos, which I'm going to talk about more in a minute. But I never released the actual making of this mall video, so today's short clips are what some of that video would have been. This is a fun project. I made it in honor of my mother, who passed away from cancer a couple of years ago, and purple was one of her favorite colors. So it wasn't a hard project to do. It didn't cost a lot of money, and to me, those are the best projects. It doesn't matter what it costs. That's not what's important to me. What's important is the memories it makes and how it makes me feel inside. And I'll tell you what, making this mall in honor of her really made me feel good, and it gave me a lot of warmth in my heart. So it was a fun project. I wrapped the handle in purple tape. I had a heat gun here just to get a nice seal. I burnt the handle for a nice finished look, and then I wiped it down with oil and showcased it in videos with my nephew and daughter. Speaking of splitting malls, another video that I was really proud of was my men's mental health video, which I believe would have been back around February or March of 2023. So it was earlier in the year, and a fellow YouTuber asked me to do a video on men's mental health. There was a whole bunch of us that did videos on it, and I was happy to oblige because I think it's a real important topic. And I was happy to discuss it in a video while splitting some wood and having a little fun. Moving on to some custom projects I made. I made this custom receiver that goes in my Sears SS14 garden tractor. And the reason I made this was so that I would have the option and ability to haul bigger things higher up. Things like this super tilt trailer, which this is a real fun video, by the way. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. How much will a vintage garden tractor pull? But making that custom hitch was real fun. It
It was an easy project. Again, it didn't cost a lot of money. I mainly used scrap metal I had hanging around. So it wasn't like it was an expensive project, which a lot of my projects go that way because I don't have a lot of extra money to spend on, random projects. Here was another project I made. This was basically out of scrap metal. This goes into that receiver, and this is just a nice little weight. It's really meant for garden tractors, but it works even on a big Coyote tractor. And sticking with the theme of custom projects, this was one I wanted to make for a long time. This was my tractor canopy, which goes on my Coyote. I priced these out from a number of different companies. I actually reached out to some of the companies to try to get them to send me product to review and showcase in the channel, and I didn't get any responses. So I ended up making my own out of wood and some polycarbonate roofing material, and I think it came out real nice, and it really saved me a lot of money over a factory bought option. Another custom project that I was really happy with that we did in 2023 was the conversion of this military generator trailer into perhaps the ruggedest firewood trailer on YouTube. This is one heavy-duty trailer, and we had a whole lot of fun making it and using it in a family firewood video, which we have on the channel. So this was a fun project. We have a lot of videos showcasing the trailer. I have a bunch of videos showcasing how I made it, things I did, me picking the trailer up, and all kinds of other stuff related to it. So if you want to see any of that content, please consider checking out some of our other content. And the last custom project of 2023 that I was probably perhaps even the most proud of was the making of this nativity scene, which I'm hoping to be an heirloom family item that I can pass down to my kids and they can pass down to their kids and so on and so forth. Because religion has become a real important part of my life in the last couple of years, and I would like to raise my kids in such a way that they honor God and live a good Christian life, and we raise them to be good people and good human beings as they get into adulthood. That's my hope for all of my kids, and especially for young Bronson, who is just at the start of his life. So he has plenty of time to hopefully grow into those values that we hope he has.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that montage of clips from 2023 and some of my favorite moments. And let's talk a little bit about the future and what I'm intending to change. So I would say the biggest change that I want to make is I'm going to try to change something that I've historically been really bad at, and that is following up with old projects. Now, the reason that I have trouble with that is the way my brain works. I have ADHD, which I never get diagnosed with it because when I was a kid, it wasn't that common to diagnose people with things like that. But now a lot of the kids end up with IEPs or individualized education plans, and they'll tailor each kid's education for how their brain works. That wasn't really done as much when I was a kid. And my wife, who is a career teacher, kind of diagnosed me early on in our relationship and said, yeah, you have ADHD, there's no question about it. So unfortunately, that means my brain is always bouncing around, thinking of different ideas. It's hard for me to focus on one thing, which is probably a good part of the reason why a lot of my videos are so vastly different and I don't stay focused. But I'm going to try to change that this year. Here I am in my 40s, and I really need to try to focus on certain topics and stay on topic. And the way I'm going to do that is by utilizing lists. So I'm going to write down projects, and I'm going to try to stick to the script and stick to my list. Because if I get off the list, which is easy for me to do, I end up doing 50 things, and I feel like I don't get anything done despite running around like a chicken with a head cut off the whole time. So I feel like if I can stick to lists and stick to projects and follow them through and see them out, as much as it pains me to do and I hate doing it, I'd rather bounce around and do other things. I need to stick to the script. And I think that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to follow along to the channel, because your brains don't work the same way my brain works, and my brain doesn't work the same way your brain works. Everyone's brains work differently. There's probably people that watch that think exactly like I do, but I'm sure there's other people that think much more methodically and much more detail oriented, and they probably have a hard time following some of my channel. So my hope in 2024 is to be able to focus more on staying on task. And the other way I'm going to try to do that is I'm going to try to do kind of mini series of my projects. So let's say I'm doing this box that I'm sitting in. I did a video about building this custom work platform. I'll do maybe 2 or 3 videos on the build of it and using it. So it's kind of like a complete story of the box or the platform. You get to see it through before we move on to a new project, which would be the next, mini series. So I'll try to keep them maybe 2 or 3 videos a piece. And I feel like it will be easier for people to find videos related to that project. And hopefully that will keep me from bouncing around more often. So as far as specific projects, I really don't have any new projects planned. I'm really going to try to maintain my older projects and finish them out. Things like closing in the sawmill, finishing up my garage building, getting that painted, maybe paint the doors so everything looks nice, and maybe, beautify the property more, get some beds in, different things. I really don't have any big projects planned. I'm going to try to save some money in case of a rainy day. I'm going to try to keep to finishing out my old projects, like I said, and kind of streamlining all of my systems and getting more organized so I'm more efficient and I spend less time running around and doing, chores harder than I need to. With that said, there are a couple of major purchases that I want to make that I think are going to make things a lot easier. I'm not going to reveal them quite yet because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to buy them, and it's going to take me a while to save up the money for those items and to get them. But rest assured, once I get them, you'll be seeing them on the channel. So in closing, let's go over a few numbers. So we're at 2.5 million total channel views, which is awesome. I'm really happy we're able to reach so many people, and with our projects, our ideas, our personalities. And we have shorts that are around 300,000 views. We have long form videos that are over 100,000 views. We have multiple of those now at this point. So I'm really happy with how some of our content is doing and how many people we're able to reach. As far as subscribers, are doing great. We have 5,800 subscribers or thereabouts at the filming of this video. Whereas at this point last year, we had 2,100. So we've gained 3,700 subscribers in the last 12 months, which is awesome. I'm glad that we're able, like I said, to reach people and continue to grow. And I hope and pray that we continue to grow here in the coming year of 2024. With that said, remember, every day is a clean slate to be the person that you want to be. So don't feel like you have to be stuck in a certain mindset or a certain negativity or a certain point of your life or a rut. You can always change, you can always improve, and you can always be the person you want to be. See you in 2024.
Today, we are going to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We're going to send you down in the likeness of his death and raise you up in Jesus' name.